There are 2 million people behind bars in America. We open the gates. Lockup.
My toilet was full up with feces when I came here.
Beat on the door again. Beat on the door again. I want you to do it. You do it.
98% of these son of a bitches in here ought to be taken out, someone shot in the back of the head.
Sell it. That's right.
Tell me what I'm gonna do. Oh, baby, just tell me what I'm gonna do.
Idle hands is a devil playground, you know, so I stay busy.
Think this could get me on American Idol?
The execution team will escort the condemned from his death cell into the execution chamber, place him on the gurney.
You ain't here for going to church. You ain't here because you was doing something constructive. You have been doing something constructive. You never. I was doing something constructive till they me down at home.
Yeah.
In southern Alabama, the Holman Correctional Facility houses some of the state's most dangerous criminals. Over the years, Holman developed a reputation for inmate stabbings, and ambulances were often seen coming to and from the prison. But in recent years, the number of serious incidents has been reduced, partly because of strict policy changes and the supervision of a new warden. The farmland outside Atmore, Alabama looks much as it did in 1969. That was the year the Holman Correctional Facility, one of Alabama's maximum security prisons, opened its gates. All of Alabama's executions are carried out here. The prison was originally built to house 540 inmates. Today, that population has nearly doubled, and most inmates, including serious felons, live in one of 5 open dormitories.
I've been locked up 12 years, and it's not getting any better around here. Instead of trying to pile us in more and more.
At Holman, 630 beds are dedicated to general population. 200 accommodate inmates in administrative segregation. And 172 are set aside for death row inmates.
You have anything from a property offender here all the way to a self-proclaimed serial killer.
Because a lot of difficult inmates or inmates that other camps can't contain, they would send them to us, and we take them and we deal with them.
People can get tied up, people can get shot up, you know, people can get stabbed up.
Wrong place, wrong time. You might get hurt.
So it's up to you to maintain and weed, you know what I'm saying? If you can't weed, then you're gonna be another statistic. Either you're gonna get messed up or locked up.
When I was growing up in this area, we used to be literally scared to pass by the road because we would hear all these horror stories of like people getting killed.
I've seen a guy, you know, get opened up, you know. I've seen stabbings. I've pretty much seen it all.
Over the years, Holman's reputation for violence has earned the facility a number of nicknames.
The slaughter pen of the South, the House of Pain.
Some call it Dead Man Land.
The Bottom, the Pit, the Beast.
Man, this place is savage. It's a messed up prison, you ask me.
It's the bottom of the barrel.
People call it the bottom. The bottom. Everybody calls it the bottom. It was terrible at one time. You know, you might have 2 or 3 fights going on at the same time. Stabbings, quite a few killings.
It's not like working at a Walmart.
Since becoming the warden at Holman, Grant Culliver has tried to steer the prison away from its violent past. He has set up procedures enabling inmates to settle disputes with words, not weapons.
Back in the day, they fought it out, and then later on, someone more likely to get killed. But today, they'll come to a staff member and discuss with a staff member, and they will end it right there.
I expect an officer to be a professional, treat the inmate population firm, but fair.
Anthony Fuller, I got your first shakedown.
Officers also keep things under control by conducting surprise shakedowns, random searches for hidden contraband.
I found a knife. Did you grab in this jacket on the floor, on the head of the bed? And cigarettes. That may be the catalyst that leads to something, but if somebody owes me a soda pop, and they come to me and say, hey man, I need to get that soda pop you owe me, and I spit in their face and talk to them like they a bitch or something, you know, and then they kill me. Whose fault is it? It wasn't about the soda pop no more. You know, on the street, yeah, you call the police and put a stop to that. What are you doing here? I tell you what you do. You go get you a knife and you stab that son of a bitch and you say you ain't taking nothing else. You know, that's the end of that. Here's what happens when you come to take something from me. 98% of these son of a bitches in here ought to be taken out somewhere and shot in the back of the head. And maybe I'm part of that 98%.
At Holman, inmates like Bobby Gilbert who commit a violent act are sent to administrative segregation, or SEG. Here, they spend 23 hours a day in solitary confinement.
In SEG, they can't smoke. They can't be out without being handcuffed. They have to have someone escort them everywhere they go.
treat me like I'm an animal. I ain't no animal. I'm a human being like everybody in this world.
I think the idea of it is a deterrent, you know, to make them want to do right. So maybe they spend a little time back here in this single cell lockup. They might want, when they get out, want to do better and do the right thing. Depending on the offense, time spent in SEG can be anywhere from 90 days to an indefinite period of time.
You know, I come back escaped about 6 years ago. They ain't told me when they're gonna let me out of there. It's been almost 6 years in a one-man cell.
SEG time is worse during an Alabama summer when temperatures inside the cells can become extremely hot.
Tremendously hot. And it don't cool off none. It's just wait at night time too. Best you can do is get 2 or 3 hours of sleep early in the morning time. And then after that, just get up and pace the floor and try to get cooled off the best way you can.
One of the inmates here is Stephen Parker, a self-proclaimed shot caller in the Aryan Brotherhood gang. Parker recently landed in SEG for slashing a fellow inmate's throat with a box cutter.
I was going to get some swastikas tattooed on the side of my neck because I just thought it would look cool. I wanted to get 2 of them on each side, like Frankenstein bolts. And me and him had worked a deal, and I kept going back to him. And we kept on going around for about 2 months. He said he's going to pay somebody else to run them. I said, well, you just need to give me my money back. And he didn't want to do it. So I went for the
Parker has been in trouble before. At another prison, he nearly strangled an inmate to death. He's serving a life sentence for murdering his stepmother and almost killing his father.
I went and rang their doorbell. When they opened, I shot them at point-blank range. A lot of people, you know, they villainize me for that. But, you know, like I said, I grew up with parents that didn't give a about me. I'm not trying to excuse my behavior. I wasn't racist until I started landing in jails and in prisons and kept getting jumped on over and over again. Then I became racist. And I wear it proudly. I got the swastikas, and I got the Shustafel bolts.
Stephen Parker is crazy. He's a nut. I mean, no more, no less. He's not a person that's very intelligent.
We stand for racial supremacy. We want to control the penitentiary system. It wouldn't take much to decide a riot or whatever. You know, you can take 4 officers hostage at the same time, and it's going to domino. It's going to domino. It's all, they don't have control. It's just a delusion.
Forbidden to write letters in SEG to general population, Parker says he's able to communicate with fellow Aryan Brotherhood inmates by writing to friends on the outside.
They're lazy. They don't read the mail. The mail clerk doesn't. I don't think she would have time to read the mail, even if she wanted to.
This letter is from Stephen Parker to an inmate named Reese.
Kyra Guyton is in charge of reading the mail at Holman. She has just intercepted one of Parker's unauthorized letters containing insulting language about Warden Culliver.
He wrote, Culliver, and I'm not going to read all of that because there's a lot of cussing in it. He's an idiot, treats everyone like inferiors or children. I cannot stand that, and he is supercilious jackass. Stephen Parker's a weirdo anyway. Very weird. That's why he stays locked up in the back.
Coming up.
I don't think that there's any good way to have to take a life. The sidebar to that, of course, is the individual that's being put to death took a life.
Inside Alabama's only execution chamber. This is the execution chamber at the Holman Correctional Facility. In Alabama, death row inmates are executed on this gurney. The sentences are always carried out at 6 in the evening.
I was 16 when the crime happened. I was 18 years old when I was sentenced to death. I was charged with capital murder, consisting of 4 more deaths and 1 act of scheme. I was sentenced to death by the jury and judge. The jury voted 10 votes to 2 for death. I was living with my father. Me and him couldn't get along. Looking back, it's a lot of the trouble that me and him had was my fault. Things kept escalating. We got into fights. It just got to the point where, in my mind at that time, I didn't feel like I had any way out. The next time we got into a fight, as soon as I got him off of me, I started shooting. I didn't stop shooting until the gun was empty. During the fight with me and my father, my stepmother and 2 stepsisters were in the house. When the fight started, they ran upstairs. A friend went after me. He kicked in a bathroom door. He shot the woman. He cut the little girl's throat. And he found another little girl and cut her throat. And when he come back downstairs, he told me what had happened. We decided to make up a cover story. We made it try to look like a robbery. The police knew right away that there wasn't nothing going on with that. So they arrested us, charged both of us with capital murder.
The execution team will escort the condemned from his death cell into the execution chamber, place him on the gurney. A microphone is basically used to read the death warrant to the condemned and also to allow the condemned to make a last statement.
Prior to being arrested and going to arraignment, I didn't even know Alabama had a death penalty. So when the judge told me the sentences that I faced, I didn't think he was telling the truth. I didn't think that right. from that point on, yeah, I knew I was coming to death row. I knew I was going to death row.
The warden stands at this point. Can look back into the execution chamber. There's a intercom system that allows the warden to communicate with the commissioner for any last-minute stays. And once he's given the okay to proceed, then in the state of Alabama, the warden has to perform the execution by lethal injection. The drug concoction is made up of 3 different drugs. 7 syringes are used.
Sodium pentothal renders the prisoner unconscious. Pavilon paralyzes the muscles. Potassium chloride stops the heart.
There are times when I wanted him to execute. I mean, because the weight of dealing with the issue, it gets unbearable. I mean, you want to just say, hey, man, look, I quit. I'm gonna drop my appeals, y'all kill.
I don't think that there is any good way to have to take a life. The sidebar to that, of course, is the individual that's being put to death took a life. I look at it as just the general public of the state of Alabama actually carrying out the execution. I just happen to be the tool in place to be able to do that. If I refuse to do that, then I'm actually refusing to carry out a law that I said that I would uphold.
I started. I'm responsible for all 4 deaths because if I'd have never started the killing, none of it would have ever happened. In some way, I wish that there was something I could do to help the victims' families find closure or make peace with what happened. I can't do anything but apologize.
In 2005, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional to impose the death penalty on juveniles who commit murder before their 18th birthday. Since he was convicted of a killing at the age of 16, his sentence was changed to life without parole.
I was outside. An officer called me to the red door that goes back into death row, told me to pack my stuff, that I was being moved to the segregation unit. I packed my stuff and left. You hear a lot of stuff about prison. And I was scared of leaving the environment that I had become known in. People knew me, and I knew people, to a new environment that everybody says is worse. So, in that respect, I was scared. I was happy not to have a death sentence, but I was scared to go to the seg building. It's still a death sentence. I still feel like I'm a walking dead man. I'm not going to be executed, but I'm going to die in prison. The difference in the sentence isn't that great. Now I wait 20, 30 years before I die instead of maybe 3 or 4.
Up next, prisoners find love behind bars.
I love him, and if I could marry him in the state of Alabama, I would.
Due to mature subject matter, viewer discretion is advised.
At the Holman Correctional Center in Alabama, prison officials impose strict policies on sexual activity. Conjugal visits are not allowed, and anything considered pornographic is screened by male clerk Kyra Guyton.
The breast can actually show, but the nipples can't. One thing that they cannot have is Playboy, Hustler, anything like that that is way revealing. Even pictures from home they can't have like that, and I've had several of them.
But when it comes to relationships between inmates, Warden Culliver takes a different approach.
If an officer finds an inmate participating in a homosexual act, a disciplinary action is taken. That individual will go to segregation for a period of time. But if we know that 2 people are in a relationship, generally we don't do anything with that. If they are not openly having sex, and you can have a relationship that doesn't have sex involved.
As far as the sex part is concerned, it is very, very frustrating and uncomfortable, especially if that's something that you really want to do, because you have to try to beat the police and inmates. And what I mean by that is, it's done quick and quietly.
Keith Mason, who goes by the name Precious, is a divorced former pastor serving a life term for robbery and aggravated assault. Marquise Nobles is serving 15 years for robbery and kidnapping. For the past 6 years, the 2 men have enjoyed a relationship behind bars.
He had a shy innocence when I first met him, so I think that was another part that really attracted me to him, but by the same aspect, I really fell in love with him.
Every morning, Precious gets coffee from Marquise. He sews for him and keeps their area clean. In prison terms, Marquise and Precious are man and wife.
You know, man. I got on my band and his. That's mine, that's his. I love him, and if I could marry him in the state of Alabama, I would. I got his name on me, right there. Come on, baby.
While Precious and Marquise freely admit to having a sexual relationship in prison, Marquise says he prefers women.
I'm in prison. There's no women in here, but there are men that want to be women, so I have to deal with it while I'm in here. I'm straight. I mean, I like I like feminine men, so, you know, however you want to look at it, as you call it, being a homosexual, you being gay, you know, everybody had a different word, but as far as in here, you know, he's a woman and I'm a man.
Marquise and Precious insist their relationship isn't just about sex. Both speak of a bond rarely shared in prison.
Yeah, I love him probably harder than I've ever loved any woman, you know what I'm saying? And I have 13 children. I have 9 daughters and 4 sons. This is my partner. This is my friend. This is, you know, the person that gives me strength. You know, like I said, I don't have family or anything. This is the person that helps me out day to day. So I can't just deny him when I get out, but now you have to understand that this is just for this lifestyle as far as the sexual thing, this is just for now, because I'm locked up. I do this because I want to, not because I have to. Actually, I do this because I like it.
While some inmates stay out of trouble in committed relationships, others act out their sex. Inmates' outrage over conditions at Holman.
Due to mature subject matter, viewer discretion is advised. There are 2 million people behind bars in America. We open the gates. Lockup.
As is the case at many maximum security prisons, some inmates locked up for rule infractions at Alabama's Holman Correctional Facility complain of unfair treatment. Warden Grant Culliver maintains that regulations at Holman are not only fair, they reflect what the public expects of the prison system. Once a year, every prisoner at Holman comes up for a progress review before Warden Culliver and Supervisor James Powers.
This is your annual progress review. We'll come up with a determination on his needs, whether his needs can be met here or he needs to be moved to a facility where programs to meet his specific needs.
For inmates confined to segregated lockdown, the Process Review Board comes to them.
We will want to do Bobby Gilbert first. They want to do Bobby Gilbert first and get him out the way.
801 to 84. We're 1084, your unit.
Bobby Gilbert has asked for a transfer to another maximum security facility closer to his family's home. He waits while a table is set up in the hallway.
What is you chewing on? No. Where you get some gum from?
Oh, Nicorette, dog. You know that disease.
You on the Nicorette? How long you been on that? A year and a half.
Yeah, so you see it's the only thing stops is cramps and diarrhea, bloody diarrhea.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that how it works? How much they give you?
10 pieces a day.
10 pieces a day? How much you say?
I had to discover that population.
How much you say it?
I'm selling it. I'm selling it, man. They got me hooked on it too.
You selling some of it.
See that's what's wrong now. You automatically assume worse.
I think you gonna get paid. Depend where you can, whatever way you
make my money in football season.
Oh, come on, have a seat over here. Let's get this right.
Knowing the cameras are rolling, inmates disrupt the proceedings by banging on their cell door.
Who beat you, shoot? Where you at?
Beat on that door again. Beat on the door again. You, I want you to do it. You do it. You beat on the door again. I don't beat no down. Beat on the door again. Put his ass out door. As soon as we get down here.
After the inmates quiet down, Gilbert's review gets underway. Gilbert has made little, if any, progress while in seg, and prison officials have confiscated his most treasured possession, a chess set.
But right now, your behavior warrants no transfer, okay? Anything you'd like to talk about?
You about summed it up. I sure would like to have my chess pieces back. Why can't I have my chess pieces? What we call it?
Segregation. What you gonna do with chess pieces in segregation?
Play chess.
Let me tell you what you do.
I mean, what?
Get you some paper. Draw you out a checkbook.
Play in my head. This is the man. That's all it is. I just don't see where it can hurt anybody unless somebody has something semi-constructive to do in that cell.
Ask the law library clerk next time to come through and bring you a copy of the admin reg and see if it say you're supposed to have chess pieces.
Well, you the man. You run this place.
And I follow the regs.
That's what I'm saying. That's your decision.
And I follow the regs.
The regs say we're supposed to be able to have books, you know.
Nope. That's what I'm telling you. Get the reg and read it because it don't say that. If it said that, you'd have it. It's segregation. It wasn't meant to be nice. You ain't here for going to church. You ain't here because you was doing something constructive. If you had been doing something constructive, you never would have been
doing something constructive till they me down.
Oh, yeah. It's always somebody else's fault.
You want us to exhibit some form of model behavior, but then every avenue's close to us to do anything constructive. We can't read a novel because we can't have none. I can't play chess through the mail like I used to because my chess piece was took away from me. I was jumping up on the door, sticking through the tray door every time a female came up there. I guess that's model behavior.
You have to come in stern. You need to come in firm. You need to be fair. And you need to be able to say no.
Denied possession of his chess set, Gilbert is outraged, claiming his punishment would never happen at other prisons.
Donaldson don't do this crap. St. Clair don't do this. Anywhere else, I'm sitting, I bought 10, 15 books a week at Donald's. I have art supplies at St. Clair and West Jefferson. Only here they strip you of everything but a naked sale. That's rehabilitation at its finest.
Gilbert isn't the only inmate in SEG expressing frustration.
Are you forced against me? I've been in SEG, man, since I've been here from Kilby from 2004. But they done beat me and jumped me, sprayed me, and my mouth was made with full cans of made me on myself. Excuse my French.
Inmate Jamie Bell, convicted of receiving stolen property, claims the conditions in SEG are intolerable.
I can't breathe in here. I can't get nothing out of here. My toilet was full up with feces when I came here. They did not flush it. Nothing. It was stinking. Bugs and everything running out of here. They threw me in the cell. I had to wait all day yesterday.
Inside the crowded dorms of the Holman Correctional Facility in Alabama, inmates' personal space is limited.
This is me right here. And that's about it. Man. We try to respect everybody's little space we got, but this is it. These are my trial transcript. There's my Scrabble dictionary. Family pictures. Got 2 of these full of pictures. This was, my mom gave me this. This was her first Bible. I don't necessarily believe in God, but if anybody ever did something to this or that, then I'd have another murder charge.
In these tight quarters, many inmates occupy themselves with hobbies. Donald Hargrove is sketching blueprints for a strip club.
That's a dance stage. These are pool tables. This is the main club. That's the main bar. This is a dance stage, dancer's dressing room, and all that's the VIP lounge. I really design houses. I got a whole bunch of them up under my bed.
Idle hands is a devil's playground, you know, so I stay busy.
Robert Tedder, incarcerated since the mid-1980s on several sex and obscenity charges, was a general contractor. In prison, he uses his construction and electrical skills to build homemade guitars.
Okay, the guitar is made out of boat kits. This is 2.5 boat kits makes this one.
Modeled boat kits are an approved hobby item for inmates in general population. Tedder combined his with scrap transistor radio parts.
All of these are stood up together, glued together to make this neck like this. The inside of the guitar is all wood. We have one radio, the tone control, have 3 controls down here, the set of batteries. Then we break it down further. We pull this apart. This comes completely out. This is the pickup. Dowel sticks is used for the tuning keys. It has a mic built into the top of it here, and then a mic plug in the top of it, and then additional plugs in the tail end.
With headphones, Tedder can play in the crowded dorm and not disturb his neighbors. After success with the first, Tedder crafted another guitar for his friend Jerome Berard, who is serving life without parole for a drug-related double murder.
I paid the prison equivalent of $25 for it, which was 9 packs of cigarettes.
And he's had more highs off a guitar than he'd ever had off of drugs. He don't even fool with that anymore.
Yeah, learning to play guitar has been one of the high points of my life. It's a shame I had to do it here, but it's a miracle I did it. Think this could get me on American Idol?
While Tedder and Berard pass the time playing guitar, a contraband brew called Prison Julep provides an escape for other inmates.
Of course, yeast is a catalyst for that. They're not able to steal the yeast per se, but now they will take raw dough and try to hide raw dough and keep it. They'll take bread to use. Any type of a juice that has any form of sugar in it, they will use that.
Today, officers perform a random search in one of Holman's general population dorms. Though looking for any type of contraband, they keep a nose out for Prison Julep.
You can smell the aroma coming out of this box. It's got prunes in it. They just wait till it ferments good. It's got a strong whiskey aroma. And they're keeping these airtight jugs so it ferments good, gets good and hot. Then they sell it for bags of chips or cigarettes, smokes, or cold drinks or whatever they can get for it. That's how they make their little living in here, just to survive.
There are ways to make legitimate money at Holman. Here at the tag plant, inmates make license plates and are paid 30 cents an hour. Prisoners can spend their hard-earned cash on food items in Holman's sandwich stores.
I buy candy, Cokes, Zuzus, Wham Whams, honey buns. I crave honey buns. I buy honey buns.
We have our jumbo honey buns, we got the blueberry, and we got the butterhorn.
I can't buy no wine, can't buy no kind of alcohol, nothing like that.
Armand Power received a life sentence for auto theft after threatening to kill his trial judge.
Tell him kiss my I ain't gonna take that life with that, I'm gonna kill him. And I jumped for him. And they jumped me, police got me, walking me upstairs laughing at me. So I ain't never seen nobody as short as I am jump a judge.
Develop an anger management program.
And I kept brushing them off because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I don't have time to be sucking up to those people, you know what I'm saying, coming by my cell, talking to me, but he wouldn't give up. You know, he kept coming by my cell and pulling me out of my cell and talking to me.
We have a history. We're trying to help him. And he is responding to it, and he's responding well, and we have high hope for him.
As far as being fair, more than you are one.
I appreciate that. That means a lot.
I do give you that part.
I told you we weren't going to give up.
You said that.
And we're not.
Through good behavior, some inmates at Holman earn the right to live in a faith-based honor dorm.
It simply means that you believe in a higher power, whether that be God, Buddha, Jehovah, whatever that is, it's a higher power. The faith-based dorm has been a real winner for us here.
Willie Williams is one of the 170 inmates living in the faith-based dorm. He admits to killing a woman 17 years ago while high on drugs.
We both were smoking cocaine. It ran out. I asked her if I could pawn her VCR. She smoked most of the dope, and she said no. I got mad, you know, and I took her life. I stabbed her with a kitchen knife. And after I killed her, then I took the VCR and went and pawned it for some more dope. I come to a place and realize that she didn't deserve what I did to her. You know, I was a bad person, and I wanted change. I wanted to be different. That's when I got saved. I embraced Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I believe he's really real. My hope is that people will see that people can be redeemed.
Would anyone else like to share concerning the letter at this time?
As an exercise in empathy and self-awareness, inmates seeking rehabilitation are encouraged to write, but not mail, letters of apology to their victims. At the age of 23, Dale Faulkner raped a woman and went to prison. At 42, he was paroled and started a new life.
Yeah. I was very fortunate. There were people willing to help me. And so I was able to get out, start a life, start with a good job, and work my way up. I got married, had a beautiful daughter, but I got too prideful. I started thinking, okay, I got this. I can start back drinking a beer or two every now and then. Then I started getting deeper back into the old person than I was before. I started cheating on my wife.
On parole, Faulkner had an affair with a woman and her 16-year-old daughter.
Repair the damage I've done.
Legally and everything, and moralistically, yes, it was dead wrong. There's no excuse for it. I had no business with a 16-year-old girl. Somehow, word got out, I got arrested, and I got charged with second-degree rape. They gave me 20 years, run concurrent with the original life sentence.
Now, Dale Faulkner is trying again to rehabilitate himself, starting with a letter to his rape victim of 26 years ago.
I would give anything to be able to turn back time and remove the harm that I caused in your life. The things that happened the night that I met you were completely my fault. If there is anything that you have felt bad about on your part, please let it go. It was totally on me.
I think a lot of the guys here have been able to see a way of changing their lifestyles. They have hope one day that they'll get back outside.
40% of the criminals who enter state prison in America are former inmates who have violated their parole. While this statistic may raise doubts as to the effectiveness of rehabilitation behind bars, officials at Holman maintain that rehab programs not only improve inmate behavior, they help reduce violence inside the institution. That's our report. Thanks for watching. I'm John Siegenthaler.